First bit of road going in. We'll get this packed down and the concrete will follow. So we found this local farmer, and I don't know how old he is, quite old, and he is doing exactly what I wanted. Now, I've had machine drivers here, tractor drivers and what have you, and they just really haven't got a vision of what they're trying to do. We just told him what I wanted, just within about 3 or 4 minutes of explaining, and he has done exactly what I wanted. Now, being an ex-farmer and a tractor driver myself, sometimes I find it very frustrating watching people who don't know what they're doing, and they think they know what they're doing, and then when you tell them they're wrong, they get all upset. Now, this guy is on a completely different level. It might look easy, what he's doing, but he's doing exactly what I wanted. He knows without even telling him. Absolutely brilliant. I'm so happy. I'm going to go home and have a cup of tea and celebrate.
Smile.
So we done how many posts? 15? In the cool evening now. You just can't do this in the middle of the day. We did one this morning and it was just so hot. We gave up and went home.
Yeah.
Came back at 4.
Digging.
So let's talk boundary fencing, shall we? This is not correct where this man has built his wall. As you can see, this is a government post. Right, now I've put my post on this side of the post. He should have put his wall this side of this post. But in fact, with a wall to an adjoining property, it should be 50 centimetres, half a metre away from the boundary if it's a wall. If it's got a window in it, it's got to be 2 to 3 metres away from the boundary. Anyway, this wall was here before I bought the land, so there's not a lot I can do about that. So to avoid any disputes, you can see the line of posts I've put in. Let's just walk over here so you can see oh, that's not a boundary marker there, that's one of my markers. Okay, so I had to move this little post because his little post he put right on the boundary, and you can't do that. You have to leave a bit of a gap, which is no man's land. That's really officially government land. So with this post on my side of the land, I'm going to put the wire here, which I'm perfectly entitled to do. This neighbour can't cut my wire, can't use my wire, can't do anything. So maybe a bit clearer up here. So you can see this red post here. Now my post is to the right hand side of that red government boundary marker, and if this guy to my left wanted to build a fence, he's got to build a fence to the left of that boundary marker. So theoretically the width of that boundary marker is no man's land. Same again with this post. This is not my post here. I had to move that because that post was actually right inside my bit of land. You can see the wire here, and the post was in here, so I had to move it, and I've left a bit of a gap. So beware, if you don't want any arguments with Thai people about boundary disputes, then I would suggest you use that simple format. I've seen plenty of arguments with tie versus tie, and they will kind of push the boundary wherever they can. So just beware. So you can see my line of posts here. So going to this corner post, I've concreted that one in, and you can see another post here, which is what I'm going to use for a stay, which will be a diagonal post going down. I've concreted that one in because that's going to take all the strain of the wire, hence the diagonal strut. Now, tie version of a diagonal strut, let's just pick this up for an example. What they do is they just kind of stick it in there like that, which isn't going to do anything because it's just going to slide up. So what I'm going to try and do is put a bolt through the hole, and then obviously there's bolts on this post, so it'll actually be bolted to the side of that and then dug down into the ground at the correct angle, and then I'm going to concrete that in using that dug into the ground as a foot. So when all the pressure of the wire pulls across, the pressure is on the strut itself and in the ground. These intermediate posts I haven't concreted in, I've just dug a hole, put the post in level and upright using a string line, and I've just rammed the earth back down. They're just intermediate posts. All they're going to do is hold the wire up. They don't take the strain of the wire. I'm using high tensile wire. I've seen the sort of tie standard wire. It kind of rusts within 2 or 3 years, and they never tighten it up, so you end up with kind of a sort of a sag of rusty wire, you know, between each post, because they don't pre-stretch it. High tensile wire is a little bit more expensive, but it's got a shed load more galvanizing on it, and because it's pre-tensile, you don't have to stretch it. So I'll show you some tools that I use for fencing. I'm a bit anal when it comes to fencing because I've done miles and miles and miles, not with concrete posts, but back in the UK I've done lots and lots of fencing. First tool you need is a helper. Smile, helper. The dog is optional. Yeah, cut the grass. So what I'm going to do is measure 3 meters from here to here roughly. Let me just show you what I'm going to use, which is absolutely fantastic for digging. This tool here. You can just dig a perfect little hole with that. It's about, well, it's about my height, so pretty short. And once I've dug the hole out, obviously spirit level, very important. Once I've dug the hole out, I use this hardwood thing to ram the soil back down in. That's for the intermediate posts. Obviously when I'm concreting, you're going to need a shovel, concrete, blah blah. But later on I'll show you in another video on how I tension the wire, how I join the wire, how I put the wire up, if it's of interest. Well, that's very satisfying. Making sticks for our plants. Good job. Over to where Fon is. We planted a few more plants there. Probably can't see them, but don't know what happened there. Yeah, planted a few more trees here. What a beautiful evening. It's about 6:30, 7 o'clock-ish. Absolutely beautiful. Temperature's very, very nice now. And we've got a hedge all the way along that wall, which we've just watered. So you can see this nice little square bit here, one rye. And then this is the bit that we're going to keep.